Hello and welcome back to another video. If you're new to today's series, let me tell you how it works. I listen to albums throughout the week, some new albums, some older albums, and I pick the ones I want to review and give my opinion on in this video. Remember, my opinion is mine and mine only, and you may have a different opinion, so don't take anything I say too seriously. And if you want to form your own opinion, leave it in the comments. Anyways, let's head on to the first album of today's video. With the first album of today's video, it goes to Baby Gravy 2 by Young Gravy, Baby Gravy, and Baby No Money. Information about the album. This would be the second time Young Gravy and Baby No Money would come together to work on a project together since their last project together. No duh. Information from genius.com. Review. Now we have a Baby Gravy album. This was a decent album by them. One of their bigger issues of the album is the writing department, and while I may not be the best writer, Baby No Money and Young Gravy both failed in this department, and is the reason why some songs lost points for me. Production was good except for Shining on My Ex. Their pace and flow was good and lost no points on this part of the department for the album. Overall, this is a decent project by both artists, and while it's not the best album by them, it's definitely not terrible, and it's something that does have some replay value for some of the songs in the project, and I do see a world where some people might like this album. And something that, many people I see twisted in both of Young Gravy and Baby No Money TikTok comments, I see people asking them for Baby Gravy 3, so who knows? Maybe it's something that many people in their communities did enjoy. Lastly, my standout song was Gasoline Part 2. And up next, we have Good Luck Have Fun by Baby No Money. Information about the album. While still using the fame from his blow up from La La La, and also dropping a remix version of the song, he would also use that time to work and hype up his following project to eventually drop Good Luck Have Fun. Information from Apple Music. Review. This is for sure his best album. While listening to this album, I came to see why Letna was a feature on all of the songs, because that was a producer for all of the songs. And I do have to say they cooked. There was only one bad song production wise, and it was admitted, but where every other department was good except for this beat, so like this song, literally had the works to be a masterpiece, but production messed it up. Some of the other songs did lose points due to the lyrics not being good, specifically on IMMA, where that could have been a standout song if it wasn't for the horrible lyrics. Overall, this has been the better Baby No Money project that we have touched, and hopefully it's only up from here and he keeps the same producer and improves his writing. Other than that, I think it's only up from here. Anyways, my standout song was RGB Money. Up next, we have X and Y by ColdPlay. Info of the album. After dropping their last project, the band would have no idea where to go with their next project, and while they were writing many songs, they would always end up coming to a creative dead end. During this time as well, one of the band members would end up in a relationship with an A-list celebrity, which would skyrocket the band's fame and success. They would also give the project the name X and Y due to X and Y being used in math when an answer is not known. Websites used: Apple Music, Genius.com, and Wikipedia. Review. This project was perfect. I have no complaints about this project. Overall, this was a great album by ColdPlay, as the beats were amazing to the ear and something that would be able to make even deaf people hear again with how great this album sounded. Vocals are great as well, as the voice of Chris Martin was amazing and was just soothing voice on the entire project. Lyrics are also written beautifully and something that will bring tears to anyone. Genuinely, such a great project, such a great album, and something everyone needs to hear before their time on Earth comes to its unfortunate ending. Lastly, my standout songs are Square One, Fixed You, and Swallowed in the Sea. Up next, we have Viva la Vida by ColdPlay. Information of the album. After dropping their last project, many fans thought that there would be a 5-year break before their next project due to one of the band members having a child. Also, during this time, they would stop recording and they would also not be on a single tour during this time. And while they would let TMZ know that the 5-year break was not a real thing, they also did say that they would be enjoying their much deserved break. And then they would eventually start recording again around November of 2007. Review. Now we are on to our next ColdPlay album of the day. This album was filled with the same great production from the last album, and while there are some songs where I don't think the beats held up to their standard, it wasn't a bad project. Vocals are still great and there's no loss of quality from this project compared to the one before this one. Lyrics fell into the same spot where when compared to the last project, it still stays on the high quality ColdPlay has given themselves. Overall, this is another great project by the band, and while there are small losses of quality in production for some of the songs, it wasn't enough where it ruins the album. They still keep up with the same great vocals, same great writing style, which is giving them themselves and many people a reason to love this album. Lastly, my standout song was, well, of course, Viva la Vida. Up next, we have Odisea by Ozuna. Information about this album. This would be the Stars' breakout album and would even break a record last held by Luis Miguel. And this project would also have many features which would help buff up this album's strength. Information from Apple Music. Review. This album brought back so many memories. When I was going into this album, I already knew I would know many of the songs as I've recognized this cover from other songs that I've heard. But there were some songs that I've never added to any of my playlists, but I've recognized them due to being songs my dad would hear whenever he would be driving. I have to say, this was long? Yes. Did it have some low points? Yes. Was it bad? Hell nah. If you're into Hispanic music or not, this album needs to be something you spin at least at one point because it is that good. Overall, this album was produced very nicely. As of the 16 songs this album had, only one song had a bad beat, and the rest are your typical reggaeton beats. His vocals also sounded amazing and something that I know makes him iconic in the future as his voice becomes something any Hispanic person would be able to recognize. There are also multiple features, and while they all did good, yes, even though as much as I do like J Balvin, he did do very good. But the standout feature for this album definitely goes to Ziani Lennox. Lyrics are also good on 90% of the songs, except for Pide lo que tú quieres and Cumpleaños. Other than those two songs, the rest of the songs have great lyrics tied to them. One thing for the song named Cumpleaños, that the lyrics are low key crazy, right? Like going through, like paying attention to the lyrics, right? Like if you're just listening to the song, not paying attention to the lyrics, oh, you're vibing, you fuck with the song, you mess with the song, the vocals are crazy, the beat is crazy. You go look at those vocals, those not the vocals, you go look at those lyrics, and the lyrics are crazy because he's pretty much saying, last I checked, you're no longer a minor, so come out with me. Right. Well, I do get the point of what he was trying to say because it's pretty much like the story of this song is like he's talking to a girl where he's like telling like this girl, you are no longer a minor. You don't need to be telling your parents everything we be doing, right? But it's still crazy because multiple times it's like, oh, you're no longer underage, which I find crazy. Which I get, it goes with the song, it makes sense with the song, but out of context, my man, that sounds insane. But that's why I didn't really like the lyrics in Cumpleaños. And lastly, my standout songs are Tu foto se preparó, Dile que tú me quieres, Egoísta, Sigilo, Seguí bailando, El, fan, El farsante, and Si no te quiere. Oh my god, I cannot speak Spanish. Up next, we have Aura by Ozuna. Information about the album. With this being Ozuna's follow-up album to his prior successful album of Odisea, he was ready to drop this album, which had its mix of Latin club music and R&B songs mixed with it. Ozuna would also tell Apple Music that what aura means to me is what you have in your heart, what you transmit onto other people. Information from Apple Music. My fault. Review. Now we have our next Ozuna project, and while this one was not as good as this last one, this one still has its ups. This one is filled with a lot of ups and downs, as there are many points in the album where you are let down, but then it'll go onto something and have you thinking that the album is about to have a comeback, that it never ends up happening. Overall, this was an album by Ozuna that was not able to keep up with the one before this project. While production stayed the same as it had many of the same producers, it also did suffer in the way that there are many songs where the producer did enough where the beat would be good. The producer did enough where the beat would be good for reggaeton music, but then there are other songs that have reggaeton beats, but the producer did enough where it wasn't copy and paste. You know, I don't know if that really makes sense. But if you get what I'm saying, you get what I'm saying. Something else that also lacked for some of the songs was the lyrics that there are multiple songs where you are left wondering what the fuck he's talking about. Vocals, pace, and flow all stayed the same as the last project, so there are no complaints from me on this one. There are also multiple features for me, and the standout feature for me does go to Cardi B. Lastly, my standout songs are Me Dijeron, Devuélveme, Pasado y Presente, Única, and La Modelo. Up next, we have Can't We Hang Out Sometime by Goodkid. Information about this album. The band would the band would say that this was their most risky project as they would take many risks during production of the album and that this album would be based around it being in a relationship during uncertain times and a couple other similar feelings like that. They would also start recording this album during the 2025 Los Angeles fires that also pushed them to make sure that they would be able to complete this project. This would also be the band's debut album. Information from Wikipedia and Genius.com. Review. Now we have Goodkid. I'm gonna be honest, I found these guys for Geometry Dash as one of their songs is currently being used for an event level, and even though I am yet to beat the level, I fell in love with the song. And when I found out that they were dropping their first album, after a while the album would finally come out, and I enjoyed it a lot. I know many people hate the song East Side. That's also the level. That's also the song used for the Geometry Dash level, but I still love the entire album as well. Overall, this was a great debut album by Goodkid, and I can't wait to see what they do next with their with the future that they have. The beats throughout the album was amazing to hear, and they also managed to work different sounds into songs and still sound good. Lyrics are also good in many of the songs. The only issues they had is that some of the songs had great lyrics, but they would be short. They would have like one or two verses, and that no, that sounds a lot shorter. I don't know what it's called, but it's like phrases, I guess is the word. They would have like one or two phrases, maybe three, and then that would be it when the lyrics were good and something they could work on. But for the debut album, it was very good. Lastly, my standout songs are Rift, Eastside, Cicada, and Alone with Me. Up next, and our final album of today's video is Same Difference by Swae. Information of the album. This would be Swae debut album, technically, as this would be his first solo debut album since he was in a duo with Slim Jimix. Jimmy? I don't know how to say that name, I'm sorry. Information from Apple Music. Review. I am high key disappointed with this album. So I consider myself a fan of Swae, and whenever he does drop something, it's usually very good. So when it was announced on Twitter, at least that's how I found out. So when it was announced that he would be dropping a solo album, I was excited just to be disappointed. Overall, this album lacked a lot of what made Swae popular, and that's mainly the hip hop and pop beats that he has come to be known for. And while the R&B vibe he was trying to go for was okay, it just did not work out for him. Especially when it's your debut album. Vocals and pace and flow are all fine and they're decent on most songs, but then there are other songs where you're just like, okay, you're lacking a little bit. Lyrics, they fell into the 50-50 category, which caused me and many others to not be able to fully focus on the album. Features as well, they're also 50-50 as some of the features did fail, especially the French Montana feature. When I saw that Twitter post saying that French Montana was one of the features for this album, oh my god, I was so excited because I just recently once again fell in love with the song that him and Swae have made before, Unforgettable. Oh my god. That song by them is beautiful. One of the best songs I've ever heard. And I'm so happy that I found it on a TikTok once again and we fell in love with it. Because when I was a kid, I loved this song. So being able to listen to it again now that I'm entering my 20s, it felt amazing. So when I saw Swae, French Montana, both working on another song, oh, I was excited just for that song to fucking feel horrible. I think I have it as like one of the worst songs. Yeah. Here, I literally have it marked down as French Montana feature failed sadly. That shouldn't have happened. These two did wonders that first time around. I don't know what happened this time. Definitely, I definitely do think it's just he shows the wrong direction of this album. But luckily, there was some good features. But the best feature from my standout feature goes to Post Malone. That song was great. That was perfect. Whatever he decided to produce for that song is what I think he should have gone for the entire album direction instead. Ultimately, he didn't. Ultimately, this failed. Hopefully, this does. Oh my god! Why can I not speak? Hopefully, this does not discourage him from making more albums in the future. I just do think this is something that he will have to work on. Something he hopefully sees all this criticism, he takes it in as and works and improves for his next album. But I really hope that for his next album, French Montana comes back and they make something like unforgettable again. Because these two are way too powerful for him not to have landed. Right? Because Post Malone and Swae landed again. Right? Sunflower is amazing. And now the, what was it called? Take My Heart was the song that Post Malone was on. They cooked for each other's features. I don't know what happened this time around, but you know, hopefully his next project will be much, much better than whatever this was. And lastly, my standout songs are Tomato Tomato, Mural, Suitcase, Violet, and Take My Heart. Before we continue, I want to give a quick thank you to the partner of the channel, Medkit Mystery Boxes. If you don't know what they are, let me tell you. Medkit Mystery Boxes are gaming related mystery boxes that you can get on a month-to-month subscription or a one-time purchase if you want to try it out for a month or gift it to someone else. They have all types of boxes for the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5, the Xbox consoles, the Nintendo Switch, and even PC. You can receive gaming accessories to help improve your gaming experience, gaming related items to help decorate your room, and even goodies to try at home like chips, candies, and sometimes even G Fuel packets for you to try at your house. If you're interested in trying them out, make sure to use my affiliate link down below or use code TrainDavid when checking out for a discount to support the channel out. Anyways, guys, let's get back to the video. And now it is time for your guys' favorite part of these videos. Standout albums of the week. If you don't know what standout albums of the week are, let me tell you. So standout albums for the week are where I pick one or two albums every week to, these are albums that I think are the best albums that I heard this week and albums you guys need to immediately check out when finishing this video. Last week was the only exception where there were three albums because of how long it was. As you guys saw, it was very long comparing it to this one. But let's get on to the standout albums of this week. The first standout album of the week goes to X and Y by ColdPlay. This album was, I think, my first. No, I've had a couple other albums, but this was one of those albums where it had a 100% on the score guide. On my score sheet, it had a 100%. You go to the album of the year website, you go to the Train David account, you click that little 100 score, you will see this album there. This album was perfect by definition. I cannot name you one bad thing about this album. I genuinely can't. I mean, maybe for some people it's that some songs are too long, right? Because there are, I think, like multiple 6-minute songs, and sure, you can complain about that. But for me, it goes to show how much they love it, how much they're doing, how much quality they put into this. This album was amazing. It was great. Zero complaints from me. And now your second standout album of the week goes to Odisea by Ozuna. This was a great album. Like I said, is it long? Yes. Does it have some lows? Yes. Is it still good? Hell yeah. This album is great. It's amazing. It's one of those albums that I think everyone has to listen to. Even if you don't like Hispanic music, even if you don't listen to Hispanic music, even if you don't speak Spanish at all, listen to this album. It's great. I can promise you, even if you don't listen to Spanish music, you will probably recognize at least one of the songs because multiple of these songs are viral successes. Multiple of these songs have been popular on TikTok. Multiple of these songs have been popular on Instagram. You will recognize at least one of these songs. Music is great. It's an amazing album. I truly might want to buy this album on vinyl. The problem is because it is his debut album and Ozuna has become, a mega viral artist. So it'll probably be like overpriced as well. We'll see, right? But this was a great album. Genuinely one of the best albums I've heard this week. And, it was great. And yeah, those were your standard albums of the week. X and Y by Coldplay and Odisea by Ozuna. And lastly, it is my favorite part of these videos, Yap Time. If you don't know what Yap Time is, I should speak about whatever I want, music related, non-music related. This week, there's just two things I really want to speak about. That's baseball is back. My team is the Athletics. They've been having a decent start. I do think we were overhyped as hell during the off season. Our main issue is just our pitching on our what's it called? And our lineups. Our starting lineups are terrible. As I'm recording this right now, we're playing the how can I call it? It's the Houston team. What are they called? Wow, the Astros. We are being given belt to ass. We gave them belt to ass yesterday. They're returning the favor. We are currently losing 7-0. That's wow. That's one. But yeah, we overhyped ourselves for sure. But there's not really much else we can do. We're also like 2 weeks out from the NFL draft, so that'll be fun when that comes. What was the other thing I was going to talk about? I forgot. I forgot. I actually forgot. Oh, maybe there'll be a Harry Potter video this week. It just depends because I do have something else I need to do after I finish recording. Right? I think I should be able to have it done. It shouldn't take me that long. It usually takes me like 30 minutes, but we'll see how things go. And for the medkit mystery boxes, my next box should be coming in this week. So hopefully by next week's video, it'll be a new box, a new thing, because that's something they do. They send you a new box, like different design every month, different theme. So we'll have new things you guys will have new things to look at for the next month. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else I have to say? I truly do not think so. I think that's it. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. Nah, man, there's nothing else. There's nothing else for me to talk about. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and comment. Share if you want to. But it's not really much else for me to do. Make sure to follow my socials. I should be coming back to Instagram sometime next week or the week after that. So, if you're watching this video anytime like after 2 weeks of this initial release, I should already be back on Instagram. Right. Follow my album of the year. Follow me on album of the year website. You can check all my posts on there. You can see the albums that I'm going to be doing for the video. So then that way you have an idea of what's coming up, and you can try and guess the scores. You can try and guess the standard album of the weeks, all that good stuff. Follow my TikToks. Right, I have two. I have my regular one, but I don't really post on that one. It's occasionally where I post on that one. But the one you definitely should follow is my vinyl page, as I'm going to be starting a new series where I'm spinning the Casino by Baby Keem on there. So that should be fun to upload and see how people react to it. And make sure to check out the partner. And yeah, there's not much else for me to talk about. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all whenever I see you guys. Goodbye.